Meet Jackson Pollock, one of the most amazing American painters of the 20th century.
Wow, thanks and pleased to meet you.
Paul Jackson Pollock, who was better known as Jackson, was born in Cody, Wyoming in 1912. Cody was known for its huge open country and, of course, cowboys.
I love the Wild West.
Jackson was the youngest of 5 sons, born to Leroy and Stella Pollock. Even though Jackson was born in Cody, the family didn't live there long. In fact, the family didn't live anywhere too long. They were always on the move.
You are so correct. All this moving made it hard for us kids.
It was in 1928 at Manual Arts High School that Jackson became interested in art. Thanks to his very supportive art teacher, Jackson decided to head to New York City. This was not a good time to move to New York, or anywhere else for that matter. This was the beginning of the Great Depression.
Life was definitely not easy, but being in New York was definitely where I wanted to be.
Thankfully, in 1935, the New Deal created by President Franklin Roosevelt helped to finance the Federal Arts Project, which gave artists like Jackson $100 a month to create art.
Here, go make some art. Hey, thanks.
In 1941, Jackson met Lee Krasner, who was also a painter living in New York. She instantly fell in love with Jackson and his paintings.
I absolutely love Jackson's work.
Aw, thanks, Lee.
Lee was a huge confidence booster for Jackson, and she had connections and knew how to succeed as an artist in New York. In fact, she knew Peggy Guggenheim, the world-famous art collector. Soon after, Peggy paid Pollock to create a huge painting for her home. This painting was so big that Jackson had to tear down a wall in their apartment to fit it in.
Don't mind me, I'm just tearing down this wall.
Months passed, and Pollock just kept staring at the canvas. Finally, under pressure, he got started. Within 24 hours, he had finished. Check out this amazing painting titled Mural. Some artists just work better under pressure.
Looks pretty good, right?
Soon after, Jackson started having trouble focusing on his painting. Just too much big city life, I guess.
So much to do and see. No time to paint.
So, in 1945, Pollock and Lee were married and decided that moving out to the countryside would be best. No more distractions, noises, and crazy food. After moving to the barn, Pollock started to become frustrated by the human figure. He was still trying to find his unique style.
This just isn't working.
Finally, a year later in 1947, Jackson decided to trash the easel and paint with the canvas directly on the ground. It was through this event that Jackson discovered his famous controlled drip technique. However, as with most groundbreaking ideas, not everyone liked it.
Man, I'm confused.
Actually, let's just say not everyone understood Jackson's technique.
This is different, like my hat.
It wasn't until 1949 when Life magazine printed a huge article asking if Jackson was the greatest living painter in America.
Hey, I look pretty good there.
This article exposed the nation to Jackson Pollock and his revolutionary technique. It also intrigued a famous photographer, Hans Nemeth.
Hi, nice to meet you.
In fact, Pollock grew to like him so much that he even let Hans make a film documenting his technique. Check it out. Throughout the next few years, Jackson Pollock's fame grew. However, his confidence was always low since he could only sell a few of his paintings. Even with the support of his wife Lee, Pollock never seemed to find the spark and inspiration he once had. Unfortunately, through a series of sad choices, Pollock died in a car crash in 1956.